Okay, well here we go. Get myself ready really to put in some retaining blocks and of course the ACO drain here and also these edging concrete block strips as well. So yeah, well I've sort of levelled out this area here in preparation for it, and I've got the depth, I've got my ballast and the cement. I'm kind of ready to go, so that's it really, ready to go. Okay, so here we go guys, this is the kind of finishing touches, or the first start to the finishing touches. I'm putting in the ACO drain, dun dun dun. Okay, so I've got the cement going up here, that's for basically putting in here, if I can take it over here, I'll put in my concrete edges here. I made the line, and anyway, so there we go, put the concrete edges in first, and then I had to put in the ACO drains. It wasn't quite as simple as it is. I had to cut out my own kind of hole and make a bit of an individual sort of effort to put the pipe in. From 110mm pipe underneath, and I had to go into this one here, so that's what I've done anyway. So as you can see there, it's all in.
Oh, because you've made your hole, haven't you? We've had to do a makeshift kind of hole into the drain ourselves.
So that's how it goes really. But it looks alright, you know, it's going to be secure. I can put some silicone in on the inside here, and I don't think it'll go anywhere after that. So I'm mixing up some more kind of concrete, and I'm going to be putting it in and putting the final bits of, well, I'm going to put in another channel and then hopefully cut one with the angle grinder just to size into the corner here. So yeah, it's starting to get real now. So yeah, we keep moving. Hi folks, here we are, just about to put the other ACO drain in and the concrete restraint in. But I'm sure there's a lot of paveways, just like ours, they dip. Now when we did our original levels, you say, I'll take it from, well, we took it from one fixed point, which is the garage, and then we pulled our line across here to the pavement. But that was not ideal because this pavement moves up and down, undulates, and heavy dips. So consequently, when I'm putting this concrete edging the ACO drain in, if I were to go from the edge here to edge here, right in the middle where it sinks, there's about like a 5 centimetre kick up from here. So all I'm saying is, in hindsight, it would be better to get your level of the fallout first. It's not a problem because actually we can just drop it fractionally, and that way indeed you'll have number one, a better fall because we're catching all the water, so that's not a problem. So just be thoughtful. That's just one little hiccup we've got. But these pavements, they do. You walk across your neighbours and other people's, and you'll see them dip really heavily where the tyres are going in and out all the time. So we can protect obviously and whack down and support our properties and obviously the putting the blocks in and everything here. But of course, pavement, got nothing we can do about it, have we really? So that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
All right, so hey, one of the very last jobs I've got to do here. It didn't have to be the last job, but for me it was one of those bitty little things. Just kind of filling in where I've got the concrete edge here, and of course the concrete edge here goes into the ACO. Also, there's a big old gap here, so doesn't look too sightly, does it? So anyway, as you can see, yep, just whacking it down and hopefully getting a nice smoother line, because this was so, well, you can see the gap there, in there is dead high. So of course, just smoothing it over, ramping it up. All right, tatty bye bye. Okay, well this bit's always feels a little bit stressful. You kind of, you know, the cement, the concrete's going, and you know you have to be quick and prompt and everything. So as I said, this concrete edging, it can't be exact because the pavement undulates up and down, you know. So just get it to whatever level really that you feel comfortable with. I kind of went slightly below. And then as of course, as you see here, in between, it'll go slightly higher and then dips down slightly below. You can see the dark, that's the tarmac. Okay, well, this part, I want to show you what I've done here to connect up to the soakaway. So as you know, this pipe, the orange pipe, which is the 110mm underground pipe, okay, the drainage, goes all the way through here. And if you recall, there's a big 2 cubic meter soakaway down there. So now I've got to now connect that to my ACO drain. And how do I do that? Well, these, and I will call them out. This is a hex drain, and look, that's the only punch out hole there. So you have to buy their part. So that means I can only have it at that particular point. However, I've already fixed my point here, so hence have to make my own arrangements. So what I've done, as you can see here, there we go, like so. I'm guessing that's somewhere around there, and you kind of get the idea what's happening there. See, okay, so somewhere around about there is where it's going to be. Okay, so I'll maybe drill out that little bit more. And that's the end there. Okay, so that's to stop any barrier. Okay, it's just a piece of perspex. Or of course you can be professional and pay, I think, about £12 for it. Of course it does exactly the same job. Alright. And then I'm cutting down here. So under here, there we go. So I had to work out what length that 50mm pipe was. Okay, and all that is a cap, and it kind of a downsizer, or you know, like a converter from one thickness to another, from 110 to the 50mm one. So that's it really. And under there, what you're going to do, well, the water's obviously going to come down and then it'll probably leak out there, so I'll make sure that it doesn't leak. How are you going to do that? Simple job. On the inside here, once I've got a big enough hole that I'm happy with, I'll put some silicone around it, okay, and then I'm all ready to obviously put this in, put the run in. So that's that really. Complicated and annoying, but hopefully job done soon.
She's got that dentist thing.
Hey, hello. Well, cement mixer's out, and we are putting blocks in
On a windy day.
on a windy day.
See everything blowing around.
And of course we've got all the damsons here. Hopefully we've done our maps. And these damson blocks, particular product run, and they're going to go around the outside. And as you can see, here's some I made earlier. Oh yes.
Fantastic.
So go in here. About to lay one now, so let's go. Right. So I've got my rubber mallet, and I've got my line, and I've got 5 centimetres, 5/6 stroke, whatever that's going to be, of centimetres of concrete, or 1:8 mix. Okay, and I used ballast to save time, don't want to get mucking about. And now I'm trying to tap down to the line and make sure it's uptight. And I've got what these called again, it's not float, answers. Oh, I know it's gone. Anyway, one of these things here. Right, spirit going up and get a bit of time on it. So yeah, quite happy to be putting something in, definite 100%, and that's this charcoal block that's going to go all the way around the outside of the property. Okay, hello. So we are now putting in this side now, putting in the blocks. These are the edging blocks here. These charcoal ones are going around the side here. As you can see, got myself a little mitre joint here to make it look neat. So coming for one course and then coming up this side. So yeah, getting there. Another 2 or 3 hours, a couple of hours or so should be at that corner. And then of course come across the garage section. Just up there, I'm cutting in around the sides there with the mitre joints. So yeah, stuff going back in now. Obviously putting the string there and tapping down with the rubber mallet and bedding it in on around about 5 centimetres worth of concrete. Shouldn't go anywhere. Okay, so we're cutting the blocks now around this kind of semicircle area. So, you know, we've all seen it when people just put down the block paving, and there's the big gaps in between, as if right here, you know, and that's how you get round. But of course, if you want a nice tight cut, you're going to have to cut, which is what I have done here, and I'm just about to show you here. So that's my angle, and I want to cut this out here, you see, to make it look sharp. So basically what I do is this gap here, I'm going to run parallel to here. So as you can see here, this is the kind of the cut that I want here. So I've scored it. There we go. That's parallel.
Is that with the nail, is it?
Yeah, I'm scoring it with a nail, and they're just nice straight edge. Then I'll transfer it and cut it. Okay, let's get some dust, baby. So I come over here. This is my little workstation. Linda might stand a bit further back now, but I score it first of all, and then when you're cutting it as well, it's very important to make sure that you cut in. So, because otherwise, if you cut straight down with this, and it goes a little bit wonky, of course you'll have a valley, and that's not very nice to look at because it won't butt up any further. So you want to make sure that the cut goes in. So, in other words, that way rather than that way, slightly. So I'm going to score it with the small 4.5 inch angle grinder. Then I've got my big Bertha to cut straight through. So here we go. Ooh la la. So remember, try and get the angle so that it fits snug. any of that. So you get your small angle grinder, you need to cut any edges off. Nips or whatever. One of the hardest jobs is actually seeing where you're going, because these masks steam up and dust and everything. So, and then, ooh la la, here you go, my sweet. There you go.
Perfect.
Yeah, and then of course, so again, I'm looking at the angle here that I've made on the inside, and I want to, I'd say, that to me, eyeballing it, looks pretty good. So again, there's the V. So what do? There's your knee brick. Of course, you could do this block, or you do this block, but you just each another block, just without confusing you. So there we go. There's my parallel line, and I'll just score it. I'll show you, and then that's it. But yeah, very dusty work. Make sure you keep it safe as possible. And is it worth it? Well, absolutely. But of course, it's labour intensive. So that's why when you go down, I think when you're looking around on the pavements, not pavements, on people's driveways, you don't see it too often. You see lots of mortar or sand thrown in. And hey, you know, I'd rather have that any other day. So thank you.
Okay, so we're making concrete for the edging blocks to keep all the blocks in on the drive, and it's 8 ballast to 1 cement with about 2.5 pints of water. So with the concrete mixer, we put the water in first, half the water for the whole thing. So I'm doing 1 1/4 for 8 to 1. So we're going to double that. Okay, so I've got my bucket.
And consistency wise, like a dry mix, I think they call it.
Mix, yeah. Yeah.
So here's a bit of ballast.
Lovely. So I'm just going to carry 4 Christmas pudding balls at a time. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So we're doing 8 to 1. I don't know whether you want to video a bit there and a bit in the
Yeah. Smile for us. Right, as you can see here, I'm bedding in, expression I believe, a bed of concrete for this little kind of return, like a curved pavers here. So there we go. It's a bit awkward, it's a bit of a pain and a bit fiddly. You just do what you can really to get your levels right coming in. So of course that green line is the level from the house going straight into the ACO drain. Cool. Cool. So just trying to bed them in. I think I've got a system. Okay, so I've cut them the other day, so you know you don't have to slow down, stop for each one. It's a bit demoralising, isn't it? But,
Great curve.
and then definitely just tap away. I can see that, and of course,
Check the level.
on this side. Now I can see some daylight now. Hallelujah. There we go. And with the next one, still seems a little bit high, but I guess because it's, you know, just the retaining wall side of things, it doesn't really matter. It's not high, it's just the level slightly. So yeah, that's, and on with the next. Hello, okay, well, what's going on now? This is the final retaining side that I need to concrete in. Okay, so I've done, yeah, almost done halfway actually. So of course I've got to come around the bay window here and just to the other side there. And once I've got that, as you can see on the neighbour's wall there, already done. That's the blocks already in. There's the ACO drain, so that's a level. This, well, I'm rather happy with that curving blocked border. Back over there, you see. So that's where we're at. And it goes around the corner as well. Hello. So here we are, putting in the blocks just in front here of the door. So they're going in there, and I'm obviously coming around here now. This is where we're at. My lovely assistant Linda has been knocking up the concrete for me.
My new talent of concrete making.
We're keeping it to 1 to 8, but of course I think in a previous video we said, you know, whatever the dilution of water is, of course in hindsight and thinking about it, depends how moist the actual ballast is. If it's bone dry, you're going to need more water naturally, and if it's already wet, you don't need as much. So that's that really, just put that bit down. But yeah, we've come around here now. You can see just starting off there, that's where the path damsons will be, a little path going around the side here. But yeah, we're going to just carry on here. We've done some levels across. It's always difficult with levels, you know, and sometimes it's best whatever works for you, as long as it works. So I'm just coming around here, going to do a 45-degree return. There you can see some of the cuts I've done here. These two here, I need to keep the shape. I assume that's 45 degrees, whatever the degree is, and the angle I've already cut. Here's some I've cut earlier. And I'll be putting those in there, and then continuing it along there. So that's what I'm going to do now. Catch you soon. Hi guys, okay, well here we are. Pretty much all of the edging blocks are being put in. As you can see here, this is the final kind of part here, where I just do a small off cut and then come past, and the rest will be all sand, you see. So just made it. Enough ballast mixed up there just to finish it all off. So happy days, very happy days for the moment. Then I can actually start tidying this whole area up and then getting some final levels on the MOT before bringing in some sand. So I've got all of this MOT here to kind of lose. Okay, all right, good job, thank you. I thought I'd also just show you here some of the cuts I made. just to get around a 45-degree angle. Maybe there's some sort of machine stroke tool to do the job for you, but I don't know what it is. So anyway, I've managed to cut one brick in half and then kind of plate. So happy with that. Okay, so here I am. I'm just going to be putting in just some shingle really, that's all, just to clear this area. I've already put in some broken blocks I had left over. It was going down the tip. Recycle, baby. And there we go, just putting in some 20mm pea shingle, and that will clean off and look fine, look nice. And then of course my wife Linda can just put in some potted plants, whatever, over the top. Okay, so kind of a mini celebration yesterday, because I managed to get all of the edging blocks in. So that's a great feeling. And what we're doing now is making preparations for the sand. First time thinking about the sand coming in now. And so of course I've got my definitive and final edge from here, making sure there's a good grade down, which we've already checked before,
Good
which is
for,
fine.
yeah, 1 centimetre per 100 centimetres.
Or anything
minimum
down rather than the other way
Mm-hmm.
when you're doing it. So anyway, we've and of course I've checked down here. We've had Linda just checking when it's straight, and you know, there's a good 2 centimetres or so on the fall there. So that's great news, good feeling. And then so in between here, what we're now doing is just making sure we want between 2.5 centimetres to 4 centimetres worth of sand compacted down. So this is our final line, and so we're saying anywhere between 10 centimetres and actually between 6 and 10. I mean, 6 is 0 sand, so we're saying somewhere between 8 and 10 to give us 2 centimetres of sand or 4 centimetres of sand with the undulation of the ground. That should be flat then. So yeah, we're just popping along, and as you can see here, all the little bits of MOT that we're throwing in, it's bringing the land up a little bit. So so that's good. That's where we're at really. And we've done everywhere behind you, and here on this side, as you can see, I'm just going along. That's like 8.5 centimetres. That's good. 9. That's good. Like 9.5. All the way down here. Been checking it out. So it's 8.5 to 9s. So that's really good there. When we get down there, I know that it drops more. We might need more MOT, which is absolutely fine. We've got a guy coming on Monday, so but not much.
Today's Saturday.
Yeah.
Saturday, we're in the.
You wouldn't know.
It's 8 weeks come Tuesday, so.
Is it? Oh, that's terrible.
But we've had a lot of rain.
Had a lot of rain. Never done it before.
And never done drains.
Drains took a couple of weeks, and things do, don't they? Things take longer than you want them to do. But and it's just been myself and Linda here has been helping out when we've had the summer holidays, kids, looking after the 2 kids. That's all good times. And I've also been taking on some work, my singing career. If anyone picks this up, I'm a very good wedding entertainer. Okay, check out the link. Sing builder, or the building singer. Who knows? So that's it. Thank you. So, as you can see here, this is the old doorstep. It was like that, I guess, but obviously not as rough. That wasn't there, but I'm going to be taking this out and putting in a nice new bullnose doorstep. So I think it's nearly trying to come out. But can't get kind of messed up. Look.
It's obviously been here the whole time. Wow. Fantastic.
Okay. That's that. Part 1. Okay, so just finishing off around the edges here. I've already put in just a mortar mix really, 4:1 ratio. I've got here sharp sand, and it was always my idea really, it's not idea, but to rather than just throwing the kiln sand around the edges, which I'm sure is more than adequate, the wall's not going anywhere, but I just wanted to give it a little bit more strength around the edges. So that's what I'm sort of doing now. So all I'm doing is keeping it dry, because actually the rain's starting to pitter patter down now. So rather than making a big wet mess on the blocks here, just kind of dropping it in and brushing it through really. And of course, when it's starting to rain, it'll start the, what do they call it? Start the
Curing, is it?
yeah, or start the the mechanics of it getting wet and curing or whatever, going off basically, isn't it? So that's pretty much it. But I look forward to soon showing you some of the finished stuff. So all I'm going to do here, just go around the edges to here, and also along the garage line. That's what I'll do.
Okay.
All right, guys.